Have you ever wondered what it takes to eat healthy every day and still feel vibrant at 92? I'm sharing the wisdom of a 92-year-old man who's thriving and the 5 simple habits that transformed Clara, 66, from tired and unhealthy to full of energy. Picture Clara standing in her kitchen one dreary morning, staring at the sugary cereal she'd been eating for years, feeling a wave of exhaustion wash over her. At 66, Clara had always loved cooking. She'd spent decades making meals for her family, filling her home with the warmth of her recipes. But lately, her energy was gone. Her joints ached, her mornings dragged, and she'd started to worry that this was just what aging meant, feeling tired, sluggish, and unable to keep up with the life she loved. She'd been relying on quick processed foods, thinking they were fine, but deep down she knew her diet was holding her back. That morning, as she pushed the cereal box away, she felt a pang of fear. What if she couldn't change? What if poor eating stole her health for good? That's when she met Henry, a 92-year-old man at her local community center who seemed to defy his age. Henry was sharp, active, and full of life, and when Clara asked his secret, he smiled and said, "It's all in how you eat, every single day." Henry shared the 5 healthy eating habits that had kept him thriving for decades, and Clara decided to try them, hoping they could bring her energy back. I'm going to share those habits with you, along with the senior-friendly tips that helped Clara feel vibrant again, so she could cook, laugh, and live on her terms. If you're ready to eat healthier and feel better, give this video a like. I'd love to know you're with me on this journey. The first habit Henry taught Clara was to eat colorful veggies every day, a simple way to fill her body with the nutrients she needed to feel strong. Henry had learned over the years that after 60, your body craves vitamins and antioxidants to fight inflammation and boost energy, and colorful vegetables like spinach, carrots, and bell peppers are packed with them. He'd met another senior, Martha, 70, from Georgia, who turned her health around with this habit. Martha used to feel tired all the time, but her doctor told her that adding just one colorful veggie to every meal could make a difference. Martha started small. She'd add a handful of spinach to her eggs, a sliced carrot to her lunch, and a red bell pepper to her dinner stir-fry. She didn't overhaul her meals, just added a pop of color, and within a week, she felt more awake, her joints less achy. Her son even said, "Mom, you've got a spring in your step. What's changed?" Clara thought, "I barely eat veggies. Could this be why I'm so tired?" So she gave it a try. She added spinach to her morning eggs, a sliced tomato to her sandwich at lunch, and some steamed broccoli to her dinner. She started with just one veggie per meal, keeping it simple, and after a few days, she felt a difference. Her energy was up, her body felt lighter, like it was finally getting what it needed. You can do this too. Add one colorful veggie to each meal, like spinach, carrots, or peppers, and keep it easy. No big recipes needed. It's not about being perfect. It's about giving your body the fuel to thrive, just like Clara did. And it was the first step to feeling like she could take on her day again. The second habit Henry shared was to start the day with a hearty, healthy breakfast, something he'd done every morning for decades to keep his energy steady. Henry knew that after 60, your metabolism slows, and skipping breakfast or eating sugary foods can leave you sluggish. But a balanced meal with protein, fiber, and healthy fats can set you up for the day. He'd met George, 74, from Ohio, who'd had his own wake-up call. George used to skip breakfast, grabbing a donut on the go, but he felt tired by noon, his blood sugar crashing. George's nutritionist suggested a hearty breakfast like oatmeal with berries and a spoonful of peanut butter, or eggs with whole grain toast and avocado. George started making oats with blueberries every morning, adding a drizzle of honey for sweetness, and within days, he felt more alert, his energy lasting until lunch. His daughter noticed, saying, "Dad, you're not napping as much. What's your secret?" Clara thought, "I've been eating sugary cereal or skipping breakfast. Maybe that's why I'm dragging." So she followed Henry's advice. She made a bowl of oatmeal with sliced strawberries and a sprinkle of nuts, keeping it simple but filling. The first morning, she felt the difference. She wasn't hungry an hour later, and her energy stayed steady, giving her the strength to tackle her morning chores. You can do it too. Start your day with a hearty breakfast like oatmeal with berries, or eggs with whole grain toast, something with protein and fiber to keep you going. It's not about a big meal, it's about starting strong. And for Clara, it was like flipping a switch. Her mornings felt brighter, and she was starting to believe she could eat healthy every day, just like Henry had for all those years. Clara was starting to feel a spark of energy she hadn't felt in years. Those colorful veggies and hearty breakfasts were waking her body up, giving her the strength to tackle her mornings with a little more pep in her step. She could feel her joints loosening, her energy lasting longer, and for the first time in a while, she wasn't just dreaming of cooking her favorite meals again. She was starting to believe she could do it without feeling drained. But as she sat down to lunch one day, reaching for her usual white bread sandwich, she noticed how quickly she felt sluggish afterward, her energy dipping just an hour later. She wondered if there was more to Henry's wisdom that could help her keep that energy steady all day. That's when Henry shared his third healthy eating habit, choosing whole grains over refined ones, a simple swap that had kept him feeling full and energized for decades. Henry had learned that after 60, your body needs steady energy to avoid blood sugar spikes, and refined grains like white bread or white rice can cause crashes, leaving you tired and hungry. Whole grains like oats, brown rice, and whole grain bread, on the other hand, release energy slowly, keeping you satisfied longer. Henry met another senior, Evelyn, 71, from California, who'd had her own struggle. Evelyn used to feel tired after every meal, her white pasta lunches leaving her foggy and sluggish. Her nutritionist told her that whole grains have more fiber and nutrients, which help with digestion and energy after 60. Evelyn started swapping her white pasta for brown rice, her white bread for whole grain slices, even trying quinoa in her salads. She didn't change her recipes much, just the grains, and within a week, she felt more alert, her energy steady through the afternoon. Her friend noticed, saying, "Evelyn, you're not dozing off anymore. What's your secret?" Clara thought, "I eat white bread every day. Could this be why I crash?" So she followed Henry's advice. She swapped her white bread for a whole grain loaf, tried brown rice with her dinner, and even added oats to her snacks. After a few days, she felt the difference. Her energy didn't dip, she felt fuller longer, and she wasn't reaching for sugary snacks by mid-afternoon. You can do this too. Swap one refined grain for a whole grain each day, like choosing whole grain bread for your sandwich or brown rice for dinner. It's not about giving up your favorites, it's about choosing better fuel. And for Clara, it was like finding a steady rhythm for her day, one that kept her going without the crashes she used to dread. I'd love to hear which of these habits you're trying first. Drop a comment below and let me know what's sparking your curiosity. With her energy now more stable, Clara started noticing something else that made her pause. By the end of the day, she often felt parched, her mouth dry, her head a little foggy. She'd never been a big water drinker, always reaching for coffee or tea instead, thinking, "I'm fine, I'm not thirsty." But Henry's fourth habit hit close to home, staying hydrated with water throughout the day, something he'd done religiously to keep his body and mind sharp. Henry knew that after 60, your sense of thirst can dull, and even mild dehydration can make you feel tired, foggy, and achy, especially in your joints. Water keeps your digestion smooth, your energy up, and your brain clear, all things seniors need to thrive. Henry had met Dorothy, 69, from Texas, who'd had her own wake-up call. Dorothy used to feel sluggish and irritable by the afternoon, her joints stiff, until her doctor pointed out she was dehydrated. Dorothy started keeping a water bottle by her side, aiming for 6 glasses a day, about 48 ounces, sipping steadily, not chugging. She added a slice of lemon to make it taste better, and within days, she felt clearer, more energized, her joints less achy. Her daughter said, "Mom, you're so much more lively. What's changed?" Clara thought, "I barely drink water. Could this be why I'm so foggy?" So she gave it a try. She filled a bottle, set it on her kitchen counter, and made a rule to sip every time she passed it, aiming for 6 glasses a day. She added a cucumber slice for a little flavor, and after a few days she noticed her head felt clearer, her energy steadier, and her joints didn't ache as much. You can do it too. Keep a water bottle where you'll see it. Aim for 6 glasses a day, and add a slice of fruit if you need to. It's not just about thirst, it's about keeping your body sharp and strong. And for Clara, it was like clearing a fog she didn't even know was there. She was starting to believe she could eat healthy every day, just like Henry, and she was so close to feeling like her vibrant self again, ready to cook and live with the energy she'd been missing. Clara was starting to feel like a new woman. Those colorful veggies, hearty breakfasts, whole grains, and sips of water were all coming together, giving her a steady energy she hadn't felt in years. She could feel her body waking up, her mind clearing, and for the first time in a long while, she wasn't just hoping to cook her favorite meals again. She was doing it with a lightness that made her smile. But as she sat down to dinner one evening, she noticed something that made her pause. She was eating so quickly, barely tasting her food, her mind distracted by the TV in the background. She'd always rushed through meals, thinking it didn't matter, but she wondered if that was keeping her from truly enjoying her food or even eating the right amount. That's when Henry shared his 5th healthy eating habit, eating mindfully, taking time to savor every bite and listen to her body's signals. Henry had learned over his 92 years that after 60, your digestion slows, and eating too fast can lead to overeating, bloating, and even missing out on the joy of food. Mindful eating, chewing slowly, putting your fork down between bites, and focusing on the flavors helps you feel satisfied with less, improves digestion, and makes meals a moment of gratitude. Henry met another senior, Walter, 77, from Michigan, who'd had his own realization. Walter used to eat so quickly he'd feel stuffed and uncomfortable after every meal, his stomach bloated, his energy zapped. Walter's nutritionist told him that eating mindfully could change everything. Chewing each bite 20 times, turning off distractions like the TV, and really tasting the food could help him eat just enough and feel better. Walter started eating at the table. No TV, no phone, just him and his plate. He'd chew slowly, savor the flavors, and stop when he felt satisfied, not stuffed. Within a week, he felt lighter, his digestion improved, and he even enjoyed his meals more. His wife said, "Walter, you're so calm at dinner now. What's different?" Henry shared this with Clara, saying, "Food is a gift. Take your time with it." Clara thought, "I always rush through meals. Could this be why I feel so heavy after?" So she gave it a try. She turned off the TV, sat at her dining table, and focused on her dinner, a simple plate of brown rice, steamed veggies, and grilled chicken. She chewed each bite slowly, put her fork down between bites, and really tasted the flavors, the sweetness of the carrots, the warmth of the rice. For the first time, she noticed when she felt satisfied, not stuffed, and she stopped eating before she overdid it. That night, she felt lighter, her stomach comfortable, and she realized she'd enjoyed her meal more than she had in years. You can do this too. Eat at the table, turn off distractions, chew each bite 20 times, and savor the flavors, stopping when you feel satisfied. It's not about eating less, it's about eating better. And for Clara, it was like rediscovering the joy of food, a joy that made her feel connected to her meals in a whole new way. She was so close now to living the vibrant life she'd dreamed of, to proving that healthy eating could change everything, and she couldn't wait to see how much more energy she'd have with every mindful bite. Clara stood in her kitchen that sunny Saturday morning, a smile spreading across her face as she chopped a bright red bell pepper for her lunch salad, the aroma of fresh herbs filling the air. She felt a lightness in her step, a clarity in her mind, and an energy she hadn't known in years. Just months ago, she'd stood in this same kitchen, staring at a box of sugary cereal, feeling exhausted and defeated, her body aching, her energy gone. At 66, Clara had feared that poor eating habits were stealing her health, that she'd never have the strength to cook the meals she loved or keep up with the life she wanted. But meeting Henry, that wise 92-year-old man at her community center, had changed everything. His 5 healthy eating habits had transformed her, and as she sat down to enjoy her meal, chewing slowly, savoring every bite, she felt like she'd won. Her energy was steady from her hearty breakfasts, her body nourished by colorful veggies and whole grains, her joints eased by hydration, and her meals a joy thanks to mindful eating. As she finished her lunch, her daughter stopped by, noticing the spread on the table, and said, "Mom, you're glowing. You look so happy and healthy." Clara beamed, her heart full, and as they sat down to chat over a cup of tea, she felt a vitality she'd thought was gone forever. She wasn't just eating better, she was living better, proving that healthy eating could change everything, even after 60. Let's take a moment to look back at what Clara learned from Henry, because these 5 habits aren't just for her, they're for you too. First, she started eating colorful veggies every day, adding 1 to each meal, like spinach or carrots, to give her body the nutrients to thrive. Then she began her days with a hearty, healthy breakfast, like oatmeal with berries, to keep her energy steady and strong. She swapped refined grains for whole grains, choosing brown rice or whole grain bread to avoid energy crashes and stay satisfied. She stayed hydrated, sipping 6 glasses of water a day with a slice of lemon to keep her mind clear and her joints happy. And finally, she ate mindfully, chewing slowly, savoring each bite and turning off distractions to enjoy her food and feel satisfied with less. These aren't big, overwhelming changes. They're small, senior-friendly steps that add up to something life-changing. Clara's not a different person now. She's the same Clara, just healthier, more energized, and more in control. And you can be too. You don't have to let poor eating habits steal your energy, your health, or your joy. You've got the power to eat healthy every day, starting today with these 5 simple habits from a wise 92-year-old man. Whether you're 60, 70, or beyond, you deserve to feel vibrant, to cook with love, to live with energy. If Clara's journey has inspired you to eat healthier, I'd love for you to join me for more. Hit that subscribe button so we can keep thriving together, and share this video with someone who needs to hear it, because everyone deserves to feel their best at any age, and I'm here to help you every step of the way.